Welcome back to episode 24 of the Nate Stowe Show. Had a brief trip to Chicago, so took a few days off, but here we are again. Today we're going to talk about what all you need to know about some of the popular diets. Keto, Paleo, South Beach, Whole30, the lemon and pepper diet, you name it. What's important, what to take away, and how to choose which is most likely going to work best for you. Then changing things up, book review. I was on the plane, took the opportunity to read a book versus movies. So we're going to do a quick book review and finally an update on the old golf game. So let's get started with what you need to know about any of these popular diets out there. And that's that they're all revolving around the same three things, okay? So no matter what they are, every diet, every nutrition approach, it's going to be one of these three things and someone's just putting their spin on it and finding research that supports what they're trying to project or sell to you, okay? So the three things are going to be the quantity of food, which is literally how much or how little you eat. The quality of food, which is what is that food made of? You could eat less French fries or you could eat less carrots. So what is that food made of? And finally, the ratio of food. So how much protein, how much fat, how much carbs are you eating, and what are the ratios? So the keto diet, for example, is all about the ratio of food. It's, hey, get more fat, get less carbs, and less protein. So that ratio of food is going to control your hunger and help with weight loss, so on and so forth. They're just like, hey, if you follow that ratio, you're good. And then they have what's called the keto plus or version keto. We're like, well, let's do that high ratio of food. And also let's have a high quality of food. So, again, French fries and McDonald's cheeseburgers are very high in fat. However, the quality of that food versus an avocado and coconut oil with some eggs, completely different. So, ratio of food. Now, something like the paleo diet, that's quality of food. It's where, hey, only eat what our ancestors could have hunted or gathered. So anything you'd have to farm and stuff like that, don't do that. So try to avoid some of those things. But if you could hunt or gather it, it's a high quality of food. If we do that, then the calories are going to count themselves. This is very similar to the South Beach diet, the Atkins diet, any kind of diet where it's like an elimination type diet where it's like, hey, here's some foods we're not going to eat. Here's a list of foods that we will eat. In fact, I have a couple of clients. We're going to start a eat real food diet next week where it's literally here's some stuff that isn't real, here's some stuff that is real. And basically eating this quality of food, the calories are going to count themselves and you're going to end up losing weight that way. And finally, the quantity of food is just, that's how much. That's Weight Watchers where they do the point system and you add up your points. That's different strategies. They're like, hey, have a smaller plate or eat slow, or you can use the the fist, the thumb, the two fingers for your protein, your carbs, your vegetables, the palm for the fats. So anything like that that's just saying, look, we're not really caring so much what's on the plate, we just care how much is on the plate. And that's it. No matter what the diet is, it's going to come back to one of those three things or perhaps two of those three things. And then from there, which one works best for you is you really just got to try. Now, if you're only trying to lose weight, you got 100 pounds to lose, then anything that's going to involve quantity of food is going to be a go-to for you. So we're just trying to lose some weight, so probably anything that's doing that. Now, if you're trying not to just lose weight, you're trying to get more toned up, and when you lose that weight, you want to have more definition, have a flatter stomach, just again, more toned, then anything that's around that quality of food is going to be more important. So you still can't overeat, but when you're in that deficit, you got to have high quality ingredients. You're just not going to get super toned, again, off eating 2 French fries and 1 bite of the cheeseburger. It's got to be something with a little more quality. And then finally, ratio of foods really just depends upon what you're doing. So for instance, right now, I'm doing a keto-ish kind of diet. It's a little bit higher in fat and lower on the carbs and the protein, which means that when I'm trying to lift weights, it's a lot harder. Just don't have the glycogen to go to like as many as possible, like run out of juice a little bit faster. So we're gonna have to like switch those ratios around to support my goals. Now, if I wasn't into weightlifting and I just walked a lot and only watched movies, then that'd probably be just fine, and I'd be fine all the time. But trying to go lift a lot of weights means that I can't do a true keto diet because the ratios aren't right. So again, we don't know what works for you. It depends upon where you're at, where you want to go, and what kind of activities that you participate in. And the only thing to do is start with like a more balanced diet and then play around until you figure out where you feel good, where you have energy. All right, moving on. Book review. Normally I watch movies. I was on the plane. I didn't feel like watching a movie or downloading it to the laptop, so I read the 150 Healthiest Foods in the World. Thought it was a really great book. Now, the author himself said if he wanted to, he could have just listed 150 vegetables, but he tried to dive into like different types of foods, not just vegetables, but fruit, pork, beef, poultry, seafood, different types of flour, beverages, spices. So he went to all the different areas and tried to choose different foods from each one. Got some different insight. Now, some of these things, you just talked about how quality of food, right? Well, he really dove into why that's so. He went into like all these different phytochemicals and how they affect your hair and your eyes and your heart and your blood sugar, and it was really cool. For me, the most interesting one was just the different spices. I always just think of spices with like, well, it tastes like that, and I like that. It tastes good. But it was really interesting to get like a little bit more sciencey and like, well, actually, this has got like 90 different things that it's good for you. So outside of tasting good, it's going to make you live to be 100 unless you get hit by a car or something. So really suggest that book. Really easy to flip through it. I read it in 90 minutes or something like that. It really didn't take too long. So the 150 Healthiest Foods, check it out. And finally, the golf game. I've been on vacation, just getting back into it, so I still suck. Not much to say there other than, if you get off the horse or something happens, that's always going to happen. Too often people wait to start a health and fitness type thing when they look at their schedule like, wow, I've got the perfect schedule. I'm going to be able to do all this. And if I don't have the perfect schedule, I'm going to wait until I do. And that might be 6 and 9 months down the road. Much like this is, I decided to get back into this 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I saw that, hey, I'm going to be in Chicago for a week. I do carry on luggage, and you can't really carry a golf club on in your backpack. So I knew I was going to have to take a week off, and there wasn't much I could do about it. That did stop me from getting started, because now that I'm back at it, I've already learned those lessons. I've got that practice in, so I'm not starting from true zero. I'm going to be able to pick up where I left off. So, I thought it was great as long as I didn't lose progress on that trip. And you too, if you're just starting a health and fitness type thing, just because you got a trip or vacation, I think it's a fine goal to make a little progress, then go on that trip and not lose any progress. You just maintain. That's an astounding goal. And then when you get back, you can start to move forward again. That's it. Hey, Kristen, thanks for joining. Episode 23 in the books. Have a great day.